This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. In this video brought to you by the luxury world, join us as we are about to explore trends that promise to make this year a truly remarkable one for horology. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we encourage you to do so to stay informed about our upcoming videos. A commemorative moonwatch from Omega as an anniversary edition. Omega is gearing up for an eventful year following a subdued 2023. With the Summer Olympics scheduled to take place in France, Omega, serving as the official timekeeper of the Games, is poised to unveil some exclusive editions. Additionally, 2024 might bring revelations about the next James Bond, potentially accompanied by a commemorative Seamaster release. However, Omega's most significant milestone lies in its association with the moon landing. This 2024, it will be 55 years since the historic Apollo 11 mission in 1969. When astronauts first set foot on the moon, with Buzz Aldrin notably wearing a Speedmaster. We believe Omega will launch a special moonwatch to honor the occasion, rather than solely focusing on the 60th anniversary in 2029. The unveiling of fresh Universal Geneva models. We anticipate that there will not be any new releases from Universal Geneva in 2024, despite the excitement generated by Breitling's acquisition of the renowned brand and intentions to restore its prestige. The development process for watches is lengthy. Hence, it is improbable that we will witness any fresh Universal Geneva models in 2024 unless Breitling has covertly initiated this endeavor over the past few years. However, we do believe that Breitling will provide insights into what we can anticipate from the revitalized version of Universal Geneva, reintroducing some models from its archive. It would not be surprising if Breitling confirms that one or more of these classics are undergoing development, especially since there have been indications that the Polarooter is set to make a comeback. As for the timing of Breitling's announcement, we speculate it could occur in the days leading up to Watches and Wonders in April, aiming to capture attention and garner headlines just before the event begins. Breitling typically abstains from participating in the show but endeavors to seize its portion of the limelight during this period. Strong demand for Karl F. Bucherer timepieces. Even among those who profess to dislike the brand, there is no denying that Rolex dominates the Swiss watch industry. While much attention has been given to Rolex's acquisition of Bucherer, an aspect of this deal that has received less notice is the acquisition of watchmaker Karl F. Bucherer. With this addition to its portfolio, alongside Tudor, Rolex effectively becomes a conglomerate with three prominent brands under its umbrella. Although Rolex has stated that Karl F. Bucherer will maintain its card management and operate independently, we believe this stipulation may not hold much significance in the long run. As word spreads that Rolex owns Karl F. Bucherer, the typical hype surrounding Rolex's actions will inevitably lead to increased demand and prices for Bucherer watches. And indeed, the brand deserves this attention. Ease of purchase for Rolex. The most frustrating aspect of Rolex in recent years has been the challenge of purchasing one. Numerous accounts circulate about extensive waiting lists and authorized dealers withholding popular sports models from potential buyers. There are also rumors suggesting deliberate production constraints by the brand, although this notion is baseless given Rolex's annual output of over 1 million watches. Additionally, exorbitant prices in the secondary market have rendered the idea of acquiring a Rolex at its suggested retail price comical. However, there are indications that the situation is gradually improving. In 2023, several developments emerged that are expected to lead to reduced prices for Rolex timepieces in 2024. Firstly, the brand is increasing its production capacity, with a temporary facility set to be operational in 2024 before the completion of a larger new factory in 2029. Furthermore, Rolex acquired the watch retail giant Bucherer towards the end of 2023 and initiated its own pre-owned sales program earlier in the year, granting the brand unprecedented control over its watch market. Lastly, secondary market prices for Rolex experienced a significant decline throughout 2023, marking a departure from the exorbitant highs seen during the pandemic and signaling the end of the so-called Rolex bubble. Therefore, 2024 might finally be the year where acquiring a sought-after Rolex model, such as a Pepsi, becomes feasible at a reasonable price. The revival of TAG Heuer persists. TAG Heuer has shifted gears decisively. Over the past few years, the brand has embarked on an unofficial campaign aimed at winning back enthusiasts who had previously dismissed it as overpriced and underwhelming. TAG Heuer has steadily enhanced the quality of its timepieces and movements while drawing inspiration from the classic designs of Heuer's illustrious history. This culminated in the remarkable launch of the new Carrera chronograph glass box in 2023, commemorating the 60th anniversary of Heuer's iconic model with a perfect fusion of vintage flair and contemporary substance. Could we witness the reintroduction of some classic chronographs in non-limited editions? a more wearable version of Monaco or a modernized iteration of the Link, shedding its 90s aesthetic and emerging as a formidable contender in the realm of luxury sports watches with integrated bracelets. Audemars Piguet is charting a new course. In 2023, if there was one brand that watches enthusiasts love to critique, it was Audemars Piguet. Despite its historical significance in the industry and its esteemed position as part of the Holy Trinity alongside Patek Philippe and Vacheron Constantin, AP seemed to depart from tradition in favor of producing hype-driven watches inspired by pop culture, chasing after attention. This trend was particularly evident with the release of the Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar collaboration with rapper Travis Scott's Cactus Jack clothing brand and a Marvel-themed Royal Oak concept tour Beyond featuring Spider-Man prominently on the dial. Both watches, especially the Marvel one, faced criticism from numerous collectors. However, changes are underway at AP. Extravagant dials are becoming increasingly prevalent. Another emerging trend in 2023, which we anticipate will gain significant traction in 2024, is the use of exotic materials for watch dials. While there has been a notable shift towards incorporating more vibrant colors into dials in recent years, watch brands are now pushing boundaries further by integrating unique and visually captivating materials into their dial designs. Looking ahead to 2024, we anticipate that watch brands will continue to explore novel materials and treatments for their dials, potentially introducing designs never seen in the industry. Christopher Ward joining the big boys. Few brands have experienced such a remarkable surge in momentum as Christopher Ward in recent years. Following the departure of its eponymous founder from the company in 2020, the brand underwent a significant transformation, unveiling a fresh logo, elevating its standards of quality, and consistently delivering a stream of successful timepieces. The year 2023 was particularly notable for Christopher Ward. It introduced a new series of integrated bracelet sports watches called the 12, which quickly garnered widespread attention and acclaim within the watch community. This accolade was especially significant as it triumphed over competing models from renowned brands such as Tudor and Bulgari, and that is a good sign to continue it this year. Smaller divers and sports watches. After a prolonged era dominated by oversized timepieces spanning 2 decades, the watch industry has gradually shifted its focus towards more traditionally sized watches in recent years. This movement gained significant momentum in 2023, due to Tudor's introduction of the 37mm Tudor Black Bay 54 dive watch at Watches and Wonders. Other notable brands followed suit by releasing sports watches and divers smaller than 40mm. Looking ahead to 2024, we anticipate and hope for the continuation of this trend, with the growing acceptance of smaller sports and dive watches. There's potential for the reintroduction of mid-size classics, signaling a shift towards more compact designs. The emphasis on smaller dimensions reflects current consumer preferences, offering brands opportunities to cater to public sentiment while also benefiting from reduced material costs. Collaborations everywhere. While one might assume that people have grown tired of collaborations, the reality suggests otherwise, as many of these collaborative efforts, though not all, were quickly snapped up upon release. Collaborations continue to be engaging and enjoyable. Brands find pleasure in engaging with new collaborators, enabling them to explore creative avenues they might not typically pursue. Likewise, consumers are drawn to collaborations because they offer a fresh perspective on a brand they already appreciate, often providing access to limited edition items. We anticipate that we will witness even more collaborations in 2024, as this trend shows no signs of fading anytime soon. What are your thoughts on the watch prediction we shared in this video? We would like to see your answers and opinions in the comments section. If you liked this video, let us know in the comments section below. Remember to follow us too and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is the Luxury World, and we look forward to seeing you again in our future videos.